In this episode, we'll be finishing off the chassis repair on the S13.
Okay, we've got Luke back this episode, so although he's dying of a man cold.
Yeah, I did a test.
It's not the Renault, right?
Well, 2 lines, that's all right, isn't it? 2 lines means negative, doesn't it? I see. Well, it's a good job we're in a really open space at the moment. So we're going to carry on with what Rob's started. Not finished, started. So we're going to blast up all the pieces that he's made, weld them in. Rob's going to get Corona. Then we're going to finish.
We can't actually show you the blasting because I forgot the little condom for the camera that keeps it safe. So we'll show you some blaster bits in a mo and then get in.
Basically, don't blast without protection.
Yeah. Right, so got all the plates blasted. It's a bit of an ordeal. We're going to cover that blaster in another episode, but it is finicky, isn't it?
Yeah. It took a long time.
Yeah, it keeps stopping and it's a really small nozzle. Anyway, all blasted, nice uniform finish. Luke is degreasing it, ready for paint.
So we are using Electrox, which is a high zinc primer. You've got to leave it 2 to 3 hours after every coat.
You've got to recoat between 2 and 3 hours, haven't you? It's really specific.
Otherwise, isn't it like 4 days you'd miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 4 days before you can top coat it.
Whereas we're going with the old brush painting now. Got some nice streaky paint.
It's cheaper. It's literally the reason.
You just don't get it as a nice finish, but
No, this is good inside, so as long as it's safe, it's fine.
it doesn't really matter, does it?
You can spray it through a gun, but I think you have to thin it down with like xylene.
Yeah, can you imagine trying to get this through a gun? It is thick.
I think it's like 93% zinc or something.
I think.
I don't know. And the idea is the zinc acts as a sacrificial anode, cathode, one or the other. Basically, it rusts quicker than the steel. So as long as there's zinc there, it rusts and then consumes the oxygen or something like that.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Same way as galvanizing works, just not as stuck on. This episode of Broke Speed, literally watching paint dry. So we're jumping ahead a bit time-wise. Last session went to shit. We thought we were going to get it done, but you know, Luke felt like arse, and we sort of bummed ourselves out a bit because we started looking at the rest of the chassis rail, and it needs quite a bit more work. There's a section at the back that looks really similar to the front with like the thicker bit underneath, and then the chassis rail over the top, which could be a similar amount of work to the front, which is not great. And there's lots of other spots that need investigating. Now, I think the best way to deal with this is going to be to unpick the chassis rails from the car, take them off, inspect them, clean them up, make any patches, whatever, stick them back on, which is fine. I'm happy with the principle. The problem is that takes a bunch more time, and time is something we're really struggling for at the minute. But I think we've got to do it, because if we leave the rust, at some point it's going to become a problem. I never want to strip this car down to this level and put it on a rotisserie again. And I don't want to be doing it on my back under the car either, or wasting all, like, the undercoat stuff that we're putting on is not cheap, you know? We don't want to waste that and then do it all again with the interior in, and we've got to do it now. So our biggest problem is, at any point soon, we might have to stop welding and or have to transport the car. Transporting the car with major bits of chassis off feels a bit risky. Because I don't really want it falling apart. So I think what we're going to do is finish off the 3mm section at the front here, because that's going to add a load more strength back in, I reckon. Then we're going to leave this 2mm rail section that comes under the car off for now, just because it welds onto this, which we now want to take off, and it welds like over the top of this. So even if we didn't weld it on up here, we still can't take this off. So yeah, I think we'll add the strength back in with the 3mm. We'll do that today. And then I think pulling this off and inspecting it is going to have to wait until next time. We've also got a couple of different choices there as well, because this is like a U-shaped channel that's all spot welded onto the car. So we want to take out the spot welds and pull this off, have a look. Also repair this completely knackered section. And either we can drill out using a spot weld drill bit, which will only go through one layer, which means we'll just have a hole in this piece, and then we can put it back on, weld it up. The alternative, I guess, would be to use a normal drill bit, drill all the way through both, but then we're going to have to fill in and grind back one side for all of them. So we'll get stuck into that and then decide as we go. For now, we'll weld on the strong bits and go from there. So yeah, smash those in. There we go, 3mm all welded in. It's not the prettiest work in the world. It is in there, I don't think it's going anywhere. We've ground down a little bit. Again, I haven't gone nuts because it's going to have a load of underseal on. But there we go, it's actually a pretty nice fit. Touches the floor pan up in there. Ready to sit under our 2mm sections on the outside. Yeah, nice and sturdy. Holes even in the right place. So that was a wrap for today. next time we will carry on now taking the rest of the chassis rail off, see what state that's in, get it all patched up and back on, and then we can finally finish the repair at the front of the chassis rail. You know, we'll take it from there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.